Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer, and this is the Road to the Record, where I work to achieve mastery of 10 games in a hunt for the best score of the Decathlon. If you like what you see, remember to hit that like button. If you want to see more, hit subscribe. Let the games begin. This is Pro Cycling Manager 2018, and this is a brand new series. It's week 45 of the Gaming Decathlon, but it is episode number 1. And in this new series, it's the same old Pro Cycling Manager, but this time with a team. So I'm going to be managing a team. We are going into career mode, and we're going to do this as a lower league manager style series. So we're going to go with a custom team, but we're going to be starting at the continental level. And a quick look at the continental level and what we have. We can see that they are very, very low stars. Electo is 1.5. Australian CYC is 1.5. Australian Cycling Academy. There you go. Benelong 1.5. BHS is 2 stars. Bike Aid is 1.5. Sybil Siban. Colaquick. Cold Deportes. Corendon's a couple stars. Delta Cycling is 1.5. Differrange. Actually, should get a good idea for where we're at. Let's see. They've got one at 70. FFL 69. Elkov Author. I like this jersey. EPM. Felbemeyer. Wow, that's a decent team, as small as they are. But if you look at that, Gumsan is a pretty weak team. I'm kind of looking to start. H&R, yeah, nobody higher than 66. I think that might be my limit here early on, 66 and below. So, DGR, Decathlon Gamer Racing. Alright, so it's starting us off with a pretty big budget. Right now we're set at Continental. We need to make sure we stay within that. And we're going to start our search. And I'm going to start with sprinters. Alright, so for Decathlon Gamer Racing, we're going to use the Nike jersey. I have close ties to Nike. One of my best friends works at the headquarters. One of my close friends also works there alongside her. And I went to the University of Oregon. One of our alumni is Phil Knight, founder of Nike, as is the other co-founder, Bill Bowerman, the famed head coach of the track program. So, big fan of Nike. I like the jersey, so I'll go with that one. And now it's time to select my team. And I've got to keep everyone below a 66. So Taylor Phinney, Ben King, all these guys are out of contention. But I'm going to look for a sprinter who is 66 or below. And the closest one that I could find is Sam Fritz. Suppose I could go the other way with this. There we go. These guys are all too much, but Thomas Gibbons here, age 28, averages 66. Sprinter is 67. Acceleration's a 68. All right, Thomas Gibbons, welcome to the team. You're our first guy. Shane Klein, Jacob Rath. It's pretty balanced. Okay. Wraith. I think it's Wraith. So Gibbons and Wraith, first two members of the team. Take at least 3 sprinters at a 66 or 65-ish, and maybe 1 or 2 more below that. Definitely like to get a young one. Wachendorf. Okay, Brett, welcome to the team. And, Blevins. Just a hair too good for us, huh? Here's an age 19, average 68. And you're an okay sprinter, even though you're a fighter. And you're okay on cobbles. Yeah, you're pretty decent. Ian Garrison, we'll take you. Alright, on to, let's see here, Hills. Let's go with Hills. What do we have now? I guess I could go salary and put it under. That helps. Okay. Griffin Easter. You're a puncher with an okay sprint on you. Okay. Welcome to the team. That's 5 riders. Need to take about a dozen for this first season. But I'm also going to limit myself to maybe 3 per average. So I've got 3 66s already. I've got 2 65s, so I've only got room for 1 more 65 on the squad. Yeah, Alexi Vermeulen. Oh, you're a 66, though. George Simpson. Okay, Mr. Simpson. Alright, so I'm down to 64 from here on out, so I might need to go a little bit lower here. see if I can find any time trialists here. Connor Brown. There's Sheldon. I'm trying to get actual real guys here. Sam Boardman. How about Edward Anderson? 19-year-old climber. Downhill is his only strength. Well, why not? He's pretty balanced. Bring the young guy to the team. If I'm going to go young, I gotta go young, right? That way they can develop, hopefully. Taylor Warren. Loving the hair. $25 years old. Okay, there's a 64 on the team and 163. And that's 8 riders. 4 to go. Okay, Christopher Blevins. Classics. I don't know how that's going to help me. Brendan Rim. But we go with, let's see here. Doesn't really show up anywhere, but let's see what we have in sprinters. I have, what, 2 64s now, so I can get 1 more 64 and 2 63s to finish out the team. Alright, so I have 12 riders. We're going to be in the Continental Division. We've only used $30,000 to sign the guys that we have. And the highest rating is a 66 down to a 62. They pretty much are all sprinters, more or less, as that's going to be kind of the one thing we can target here is to try to use that sprint train and outwork some of the other teams. But I'm not going to have that high-end speed with no strong sprinters. I got to have a couple guys that are a 66 that we'll try to rely on, but that's going to be it. And here we are at the start of the career mode. It's January 1st, 2018, and there's a few new features from the 2017 version. I actually haven't done a career mode on here yet, as I've been sticking to the Pro Cyclist mode this season. So they have the new promotion relegation system. With 18 in the World Tour, 27 at Continental Pro, and reigned are all in the Continental Division. And of course, I'm the manager of the team. We're going to have to prepare our calendar and then set up preseason for my team. So I've got a lot of work to do here before we get started, and we'll take a brief look at that, but otherwise we'll kind of jump into the first race. You've waited long enough already. I would see in terms of age, I have one senior member at age 28, Thomas Gibbons. He's one of those that is a 66. so he's an okay sprinter. Everybody else is 26 and under, with about half the team in that under 25s category, or the bulk of the team, really. And with it being preseason, you don't get a regular look unless we do that. So there you go, 67, 67, so a couple guys that are decent sprinters. You can see only one that's clearly well below the others. Brendan Rim, who is of the Northern Classics. I went ahead and took every single one of them is an actual young American cyclist. So I did that intentionally. Though I may not do that in future seasons, but at least for this first season, as I'm taking the team with a bunch of unknowns. And it looks like I have 4 riders that have a contract for next season already. They are all on the minimum salary. No injuries to start with. So that's all good. And we'll take a look at our sponsor, which is Nike. So our budget is 48,000 pounds per month. So we are going to do quite well. Ironically, it's set to pounds, even though I thought I had it set to dollar. But, you know, hey, whatever. Important territories, USA, the Netherlands, and then Belgium. Okay. You know, there's a lot more going on here. And you got end of sponsorship, decrease in budget, budget identical for the mid-range, increase in budget, or significant increase in budget. So that's awesome, the way that that's set up now. And currently we're seen as a success, but of course we haven't raced yet. That won't be an easy one for us, the most important race of the year. Or these others for that matter, they're all pretty hilly. Stage win at the Tour of Albania. That's possible. We got 4 sprint stages. And just these 5 objectives is all that's laid out right now. Oh, okay, there's more. There is more. There's much more. Those were just the top ones. But a lot of low-level stuff, so that's good. That'll help me. Set to stage wins. A lot of top 10s.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. The profile of this race is quite flat. Expect a fast pace from the peloton.
All right, here we are. The inaugural race. First time. And I come out with a complete team. And we're looking at a one-day classic sprint race here. I've got to get my team organized for the race ahead. Race day condition looking pretty good overall. Garrison's the only one that's in the negative at all. Gibbons, you're where I want you, so back off.
A surprise attack! He's probably just trying to force his teammates away from the bunch.
I like to bring my team right to the front. Get them organized early. And then we cruise to the end. Alright, so here's my full team now. And I'll set a few guys on to
There's now more than a
protection
minute between
jobs.
the breakaway and the pack.
Like Anderson. Gibbons. Oh, there we go. Okay, Anderson's going to protect Gibbons. Let's see. Wraith, 67. That's probably going to be the next best. Easter's pretty good. Garrison's not having his best day, so we'll set him to assign Warren. And maybe Easter? Yeah. Alright, so I'm going to protect my top 3 guys so that they're totally fresh at the end. And then there's not much going on here. There's only 2 riders away, so it should be a pretty easy job catching them, and I shouldn't have to work for it. So I'll see you near the end of the stage as we set up the sprint train. Under the 20K to go banner, Breakaway Group actually doubled at the minor climb that we had back here. But they're just about caught as they're only 25 seconds ahead now. We have just under 18K to go to the end, and just about everybody's back together. There was a crash that split off some riders that never got caught up. Alright, so here we go. We are inside 16K, and if nothing's changed from before, we can do this. So Wraith and Gibbons. Gibbons is going to follow. I want Gibbons to follow Wraith. Wraith is going to follow Easter. Follow Garrison. It doesn't matter so much for the end here. And Granigan's going to go first. So I'm going to get everybody organized. One big sprint trade. And you can see there is some gravel on this course, and I'm going to start bringing everyone forward towards the front now. Alright, so we can see a few teams are already working at the front here.
The finish line is getting close.
10K to go. And the peloton just split. Just 35 riders left in the peloton now.
While the pack is getting close to the finish line, everybody seems to agree that the stage will be won in a sprint.
We got split there momentarily.
Falling behind. A team leader is falling behind.
Alright, 6K to go, and now we're going to start really pushing here. I want to be right on the front.
Only 5 kilometers left. Another attack. This time it could go all the way.
Okay. Okay, use those gel packs. And Warren's gonna attack here. Sprint, sprint, sprint. Now Garrison. Time for Garrison to sprint, sprint, sprint.
The riders are setting themselves up.
Easter. 1K to go. Everybody sprint. Whatever you got left. We didn't line this up perfectly, but look at that. I'm all over the front as we approach. And head under the 1K banner as we approach the finish line. There are a few other guys. Let's see, a 62, a 64, a 60-60 here on the front. Here's Evans. There's a decent sprinter in Evans. Camp, that's definitely stronger than what I have. Craig Anderson, not Soren though. He's a pretty strong sprinter too, and is Taos. Those are probably the favorites around here. Oh, and Cola. Alright, well, right now on the front for me is Easter. Let's see how it goes. Easter's up to the front. Here comes the others. There's Wraith in for a top 3, maybe? Fourth. Fourth. Alright, well, we managed 4th place, and just like I said, Anderson, Camp, Taos, those guys were definitely the strongest there. But we end up with a small group, and I'm all over that group. I managed 4th place in my very first race, and despite being much weaker than those other guys around me, 12th, 13th, 18th, and 20th as well. So that'll produce a decent number of points starting out. So Wraith had just a little bit of energy left with that 4th place finish. Gibbons all the way down in 12th. He got caught back a little bit. Was a few too many wheels down there. But that should get us on the board. I head to my 2nd race of our career. Still very, very early in the season. And we've got a 4-stage race coming up. First stage is a sprint stage. Second stage is a shorter sprint stage. Third stage, one for the hill climbers, the punchers. But there's a pretty decent chance that most of the riders, unless the pace is really hot here, will make it to the finish line on that one. And stage 4, another one for the sprinters. Jonathan Brown down on fitness, but otherwise the rest of the team looking pretty good. Vanderpool, the favorite strong sprinter compared to everybody else. So Vanderpool could easily take a couple stages.
Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome. The profile of this race is quite flat. Expect a fast pace from the peloton.
Alright, so I'm going to get things all set up, bring my team to the front. And it looks like we got a little climb right at the end here because looks like we're on a loop. Jonathan Brown, where in the U.S. jersey? Alright, that's my guys. I'm going to get some shielding others. I'm not sending anybody in the breakaway, as I'm a sprint team. I want to bring things back together. On the hilly stage, I'll definitely try to get someone to do the break, but not today. So, Brown's looking pretty weak right now, so we'll get him to cover Wraith. Easter's alright. Rim... Let's see, Garrison is pretty strong. And Harris is looking good today. Garrison. And that leaves Easter, yeah. That'll work. Alright, so I got some water, and I'll speed on through to the end of the stage. I'll see you back when it's time to form that sprint train.
The pack has just reeled in the escape group.
Alright, so we just picked up the escape group. So the breakaway is now kaput. They are gone. And these guys in blue, let's see. Couldn't tell you what team that is, but they are leading the way now, trying to get away, push pace, make sure that nobody else does get away. Meanwhile, my team is looking pretty sharp. Pace has picked up a lot here in the last little bit, and we're back a little early because we've got a little bit of a climb here. It's not much. And you can see there's also that little bit of a climb right before the finish line, so my team has a chance to do some pretty serious damage there if the other teams are not prepared. But we've got 27k left to go in this one. And the wear and tear is definitely starting to affect the riders on my team as the other teams as well. So there's 112 riders in the peloton, but I have a feeling with the current pace, especially this uphill section we just went through, even if it was pretty minor, we're going to start losing some riders off the back. Luckily, none of them will be mine, at least in the next little bit. We're coming up on the 20k to go banner. And there you go. There's the first couple riders off the back. There's the next couple. So they are going to start dropping pretty quick. And there you go. Now we're inside the final 16k. Time to set up. And let's see. Wraith or Garrison. Nothing additional to the sprint for Garrison. Harris did have... Okay, so we're going to go Wraith behind Harris. Who's going to go behind Garrison. Garrison's going to go behind Easter. Now, for the other three, what do we got? Rim. Rim might be going first. Simpson, yes. Okay. Brown's going to follow Simpson. And Simpson will follow Rim. Rim's going to lead us out. I forgot to do that. That's supposed to be that first step. Okay, give him a moment to get all set, and then Rim is going to start pushing. Try to break through here, get to the front. Alright, so he's got Simpson behind him. There's Brown. Okay, there's the whole group. Little gap to Easter. Easter's closed it. And there, Rim's got some space. Time to attack. Just 10k to go. Come on, guys. You don't want to open gaps here. You're wasting energy.
While the pack is getting close to the finish line, everybody seems to agree that the stage will be won in a sprint.
Alright, time to go full on 99. It's time to make it hurt. Okay, Rim's done. Put him on auto. Oh, come on. Simpson. See, that's why I wanted that preset to 99.
We're into the last 5 kilometers.
Alright. Good lead out by Simpson here. Get these next two guys set here, and then attack 99. Simpson. Okay, Brown's on the attack. 104 riders still left, and I'm already down to 3k. Get the last of these guys. They're gels. Brown, he's going to be done here in a second. So we'll get Easter ready. And now off he goes. it's time to sprint there, Easter.
And there goes the mad burst for the final sprint.
There goes Garrison, Harris, Wraith in a good position.
Those in the rear. There's a growing list of riders left behind.
And it's definitely time to sprint now. Looks like told you Vanderpool. Vanderpool with that 74-75. Hamza going with him. I've in contention for third, fourth, fifth. We'll sit back here with Harris in the middle to where we can kind of see. Garrison's going to hang on for third. Harris looks like he's going to maybe hang on for fourth. Yes! All right. Third, fourth, and sixth with Wraith. Well done. No win, but that's a pretty solid result with 3 guys in the top 6. Apparently there's a split, but not so sure about that.
And just in case you missed them, here are the race highlights.
Vanderpool's going to be really tough to beat here. He's, 4 or 5 attribute points better than anybody else, both in sprinting and acceleration. Yeah, no difference in time. Not until you get back to 102 riders. But time bonuses, so Garrison picked up a bonus. Alright, so stage 2. And this is a rare one for this game. We've got the cones down the middle of the road. You see that a lot in real life in closed loop courses. But you don't often see it in Pro Cycling Manager. But here we are, and I'm going to get the team set up as per normal. And bring everybody to the front and get them set to shield each other to get to the end of this thing. It's a pretty short stage today. We're already down to 110k to go. And you can see it's a pretty small loop here that we're covering. So Garrison wearing the Young Riders jersey. Brown. That's not Nathan Brown. They got the wrong Brown in the American champion jersey. Alright, we're running out of time on this one. We're coming up on the 20k banner to go. And you could see that the pace has been a lot more intense this time. Rim already quite tired. Brown is already starting to get dropped here. No longer covering Garrison, so we're going to put him on auto there. That's close enough. We'll just let him go until we get to that 16k mark. But the peloton is definitely shrinking. It's down to 99 riders. That's what you get in these short stages sometimes, is everyone attacks. They attack hard. Alright, so you can see there's also an acceleration here at the front right now. Alright, so Brown and Rim aren't going to be any help to me. Simpson is, so Simpson's going to be on the front. And let's see, Wraith, go ahead and follow Garrison. Garrison, you're going to follow Harris? Wait, is it Harris? Yeah. Harris is going to follow Easter. Easter is going to follow Simpson. And that's all we get this time. Which that almost works out a little bit better anyway. As you can see that I was still a couple of riders too strong on the sprint train at the end of the previous stages here. So, alright, so Simpson's making his way to the front. Peloton has shrunk a little bit further. Looks like a whole team got dropped back there. Alright, here comes Easter, Harris, there's Garrison, there's Wraith. This is also a particularly difficult stage because you can see it's a tight course and lots of tight corners. Like here where you make that loop around. So as we're down to 59 riders, Simpson is making his way towards the front here. Nearly gets hit by a car. Of course that doesn't actually mean anything on here, but...
The riders are closing on the last 8 kilometers of the stage, which will most likely end up in a mass sprint.
Alright, so Easter attacking at the front now. I've got 3 riders behind him. So we've got to make it that far. He is totally on the front now. Let's make sure the other guys are there, and they're not. What happened to Garrison? Garrison caught way behind here. So I need Easter to back off. Okay, come on, Garrison. Get up there.
5 kilometers to the finish line.
Come on, Garrison. You gotta get there, buddy. Otherwise, I've just got Harris to sprint. Easter's actually recovering a little bit right now. And Garrison cannot get through. This is what I was talking about with it being tight. Alright, Easter, I think you need to lead out Garrison. Garrison... You need to get forward as fast as you can here. Okay, now it's time to go, Easter.
There goes the sprint.
There goes Harris on the sprint. Here comes Garrison finally. It's too late for these guys. This is going to be a difficult stage. Harris, definitely my best chance here. Rajovic, Raguigi, those guys aren't going to get caught. Vanderpool caught up somewhere as well, though. There's Vanderpool in the yellow and red jersey. Harris, top 5 or 6.
Great stuff. Teamwork really paid off, and their sprinter brings home the bacon.
Harris comes in 5th. There's Vanderpool down at 7th. Let's see. Garrison all the way down to 19th. Field split pretty quick there, though. That's going to help with the times. So I've got 5th and 19, 21, and 22. So my 3 guys all still in that main group. We'll see if there actually is a split or not.
And here are the race highlights that we've selected for you.
Yeah, that was a difficult one. If I had my guys together at the end, I would have really liked my chances. But the fact that we lost the front wheel because I was down to just 2 riders after the split, I had to save Simpson so that I could at least get a lead out for Harris. But then that put Harris about 5th wheel. Where did he finish? 5th. But looking at that overall now, so Garrison's hanging on to a tie for 5th. And yeah, we're down to 54 riders. So it wasn't as small of a group as they showed. But yeah, like Rim was given the same time. Even though Rim was definitely not in the group. Simpson was maybe on the edge of that front group. Alright, well, 2 stages to go, and this 3rd stage is definitely the difficult one for me. But if I can keep a team alive, even a small team, I'll be in good contention for at least a decent finish and can maybe keep a few of those guys in that top group, those 3 sprinters. If I can get 1 or 2 of them to the end, then we stand to have a good finish overall for the race. It's 2 pretty hefty climbs, but it's only 128k, so they look a little steeper than they actually are. Vanderpool is the favorite. Okay, 75 hill climber. He's actually a puncher, not a sprinter. His average is 74. He's that much better than everybody else here. Wow. Petersky also. Petersky's my teammate in the Pro Cycling Manager at EF Education First for the cyclist mode. My stage racing specialist. So if you follow my channel, the Gaming Decathlon, it's 10 games that I'm trying to master, and it's based on the Olympic Decathlon, which is 10 events. Each event, you're not scored on whether you win or lose, whether you get first, second, or third. You're scored with a rating system that's based off of 1,000 points. So if you do extremely well, you'll get 900 and something points. If you do really poorly, you're going to get, 400 or 500 points. So to win, you take the total combined score of all 10 events. For the Gaming Decathlon, I've got it set up with 10 games, 1,000 points on offer. And to get to those 1,000 points, it's going to take Super Prestige. So I've got to figure out my coefficient, what it's divided by, but it's going to be the overall team, and it's that Super Prestige. The reason why I'm not going with Continental or World Tour ranking on that is because there's different levels. So the one thing that's consistent across all the levels is the Super Prestige. All right. Well, I am coming towards the end of this first episode, so we're going to move things forward a little bit. The first climb, we'll probably skip that one, but I would imagine the pace is going to be a lot higher by the time we get over to the second climb, and so that's probably where we'll slow things down to watch this episode, this stage within the episode. So I'll see you in a moment. All right, so the Breakaway Group is in shambles. After that first climb, after they fought to get the points at the top of the climb, they ended up in pairs going over. And here's actually the first gravel that we've seen on this one as we go on to the dirt path. And even at 80, some of these guys are actually really struggling to keep up. So got Garrison there near the front. There's Wraith doing okay. Easter is doing okay on his own a little bit. Harris is hanging in there. Rim's done. He's going to get dropped here. There goes Rim. But Garrison at least was right at the front and just about to the highest. Well, not the highest peak, but the steepest. Oh, actually, there's still some tough sections to go, isn't there?
Too high for many riders.
Oop, there goes Brown, Rim. They're both getting dropped. 5K to go to the top. Garrison's doing okay, but he's hurting. He should recover on the bottom. It's more of just being in the group. Peloton's already down to 35 riders now. And let's see if I can't get help for Garrison. And I really can't, can I? Where's Easter? Easter, can you get up there and cover Garrison? Alright, we are off the gravel. That's going to make things a little bit easier here. 2 riders left off the front. They're only a minute up, so it shouldn't be that hard to catch them. And we're almost to the summit now. Just 1K to go to the summit.
There's an on attack in the group at the front.
Wraith, he's made his way back up. Simpson still helping Harris. Harris hanging in there just barely. Brown right at the back. Peloton's gonna split here again. To see just how small this group is now. Garrison just went 5th in the mountain standings just because of being at the front of the peloton here. So Garrison, Simpson both doing okay. Wraith, Harris barely hanging on. Easter not really hanging on, but here's the top. We get a false flat for a little bit before we actually descend and recover though. So hopefully the pace doesn't suddenly pick up too much, but there you go. These guys are done. Put them on auto. Back up to the front here. Okay, here's that false flat section where it does go up a bit again. Easter. See Easter struggling pretty bad. Those shoulders are bobbing. But he is recovering a little bit, so the pace really isn't too hot. But we are over 2 minutes behind the break. And let's see, Maguchi, 2:14 down, and so is De Jong. So these guys are actually not a threat to the overall. Alright, so Easter, Wraith, Garrison right at the front. Simpson, Harris just behind him. And let's see, Simpson, Easter are both covered. Wraith on his own. Let's see. Garrison's the one that's got the time bonus. Wraith and Harris.
Only 15 kilometers left.
Ooh. Harris is a +3. So I guess we'll leave Wraith as the one who's not shielded. 15k to go. I didn't think I was going to need water again. How about Easter? It's a small group. Get us some water real quick before the 10k limit. Oh, they got themselves water. I actually should be setting up sprint train and attacking here. As soon as Easter gets back up, I will. If he can get up there quickly enough. Not much of a downhill now. It's down to 2. It's not descending much at all. Easter's having trouble catching these guys. And they are all recovering. The pace isn't very hot, which is actually not a good thing. Alright. We're going to set it up, and it's time to attack. There's actually still, there's only 6k to go now. So Harris is going in the back. And no. Follow Garrison. There we go. Garrison, follow Wraith. Wraith's not quite there today. Simpson's fresh and a +3, so he'll go in front. And Easter, who just put in the hard work, has to put in more hard work. And alright, so there goes Easter, Simpson. Nice, they formed up quick and easy. Now it's time to really, really attack. Wow, look at that. Hauler just riding away from me, even though Easter's going 99. Alright, Simpson's going to sprint now. Easter, go to auto.
You see that? You can read the pain on the faces at the back of the peloton.
I didn't use the energy gel there.
And they're off. It's going to be very fast.
Okay, so Simpson still pulling for a little bit. And now Wraith. We are at the front. Oh, I'm already inside. Sprint, guys, sprint. Boy, look at that, how much faster they are. There goes Vanderpool. Look at him fly. Woo, Vanderpool's so much faster than everybody else. Again, into the top 10s, though. No time bonus today, though, but at least I'm here. Wraith, 7th. Garrison, 11th. Harris, 12th. I went a little late. I should have opened it up a little sooner. Garrison, Harris, you can see both had a little bit left. Wraith was done there at the end. He should have been pulling at least 1 kilometer earlier, leaving Garrison and Harris on their own. Small peloton group, though. It's going to definitely shrink things down. And I'll, again, have those 3-4 guys at the top of the overall standings, which is good. I'm definitely going to pick up some points here despite not getting a stage win of any kind. But this will make the sponsor happy. Alright, so I've gotten myself into the Breakaway Group. I put Simpson up there as he is just 20 seconds down in that group, where if you pick up any seconds at all, you'll move up the standings considerably. And because of it, it's been a battle, actually. Peloton really didn't want to let him get away, and then when they finally did, the group didn't want Simpson in it, so when he was weak, they tried to attack. But as we come up to the sprint point and that chance to earn a couple bonus seconds, we are now 3K away from it, and he's in the group. I'm prepared to go for it. Meanwhile, we need to get somebody. He's out of it. Not a strong enough sprinter.
A couple of teams have set themselves up as pacemakers for the pack.
One more chance.
They obviously don't have anybody in the Breakaway Group.
Let's see at the next sprint point. Alright, it's almost time to the sprint point, but also Simpson just ran out of energy. He's probably about to get dropped from the group here. At this point, just trying to hang on to the back. This little climb is probably going to do him in.
A couple of teams have set themselves up as pacemakers for the pack. They obviously don't have
And
anybody
it certainly
in the Breakaway Group.
does. There's the sprint point at a border checkpoint. And it comes across last. So, going to go ahead and let those guys go and drop back to the peloton, recover a bit, see if you can't help out in the end. We got 40K to go. Could not pick up any seconds there, sadly. No idea if any of these guys were in that stage. No, none of them. Group's nearly caught anyway. Better get water before he goes back in, though. Alright, well, I'll have you stay with me. This is going to be the final stage of this race. It's also going to be the final stage of this episode. However, there's going to be a bonus episode this week, so make sure you check out episode number 2 in the series as well. I always like to kick a series off with 2 episodes right away. And then every week on Saturday, you'll get new Pro Cycling Manager Team Career Mode episodes. And every Sunday, I'll continue with the Pro Cyclist mode.
The breakaway is not to everybody's liking. The peloton has significantly increased its speed.
Alright, I'll let Simpson ride by himself, try to recover a little bit. And we have 23K to go.
20 kilometers to the line, the breakaway still holds more than a minute's lead. Things are far from over. A rider is down, and he's not going to be able to carry on. Let's hope it doesn't jeopardize the rest of his season.
Now, Simpson's too tired, so I'm going to let him go. Manage himself. Garrison's my best placed, so I'm going to stick him on the back of Harris, on the back of Wraith, who has not done terribly well. In the back of Easter. And then we'll take Brown and Rim at the front. Simpson I'm going to leave out of it as he's already pretty tired. Pace not too hot. Rim's moving up pretty quick here. Looks like there was just a split in the peloton as well. Brown's having a little trouble getting through. Everybody else is already on this side. Sure, Garrison's at the back.
No doubt he'd run out of gas.
Garrison. Oh, come on, Garrison. You are not good at keeping up. A couple stages ago, that was you that was struggling there as well. I don't feel like I could pick up the pace until you actually get up here on us. But it's time to push. There we go. Garrison's finally on. Alright, Rim. Give it what you got, buddy.
And they keep
Brown, good attack there.
Definitely won't be able to keep up.
There goes Easter.
The finish line is getting close. The riders just passed the 5 kilometers road sign.
Alright, here goes Wraith. I'm not going to put him into full sprint yet, as we have 3.5K to go. Ooh, big crash behind us. Luckily, we are right at the front. There's only 12 riders left at the front now. Okay, here goes Harris. He's going to pull for Garrison. I've got a small chance this time. Because here goes Garrison. There goes Vanderpool just flying by, though. Look at the real true sprinters off the front. But Garrison, not too bad. He's going to be in 6th place here. Vanderpool gets the win again. Rajovic 2nd. We get 6th. Harris 9th. Wraith 11th. And that's it. That's your peloton. Top 11. That's going to make a big change, as there's a definite gap here. Easter's in the 2nd group at 16. And here is Rim. He's got nothing left. He's sprinting the last few hundred meters. I don't know why. Alright, well, let's see those final standings on where we're at on the end of this first episode. Not bad considering I have 0 strong riders. Make the best of what I've got, and through the strength of using the sprint train effectively, managing some decent finishes, no wins, and I'm not sure how many I'm going to manage this season, as weak as the team is. Vanderpool's what? An average of 74. My best rider's a 66. He rode away from me like I was standing still. But the rest of the field, I kept up with them decently enough. And yes, there are time gaps. In fact, there are multiple time gaps. Look at that, 15 seconds after Garrison. So Garrison's guaranteed top 6 now. Harris and Wraith in the 2nd group, and then another gap, which Easter was then in that group. So what does that do to the overall standings? Vanderpool, of course, won this thing. Rajovic takes 2nd, Hamza 3rd. Garrison comes in tied for 4th and 5th overall. Harris and Wraith take 7th and 8th overall. And Easter comes in 14th. That is pretty good. That is pretty good. And we get the best team with Corndon, which is Vanderpool's team. So what does that do for the standings? Little tour. Valverde's on top so far. Got nobody in the top rankings here. No surprise there. But there's Vanderpool, 7 wins. He just picked up 4 of those in that race. He is majorly OP for that race. But here's the one that matters, the team. Groupama 3 points ahead of UAE so far. Very early in the season. We are 16th in the continental rankings. And here's that Super Prestige. This is the one that counts. And that's 25 points in the first race. So not a bad start at all. 25 points. All right, well, that's going to do it for this episode on Decathlon Gamer. And remember, I'm aiming for the best of the best. So if you're ready to join me on my journey, hit subscribe and tune in next time on my road to the record. Bye for now.